What's up, man? It's the Bronco at the Frog coming at you with another reaction video. We got my boy Raymar Football in the building. Go subscribe to him. Get him to 557,000 subscribers. We recently just reacted to a video, the 2014 World Cup, step by step. I couldn't find no 2010 World Cup step by step. If I do, you already know I'm gonna react to it. This video is about how the 2010 World Cup changed football culture. Only thing I know about the 2010 World Cup is it took place in, I don't think I know anything. Oh, the South Africa World Cup. This is South Africa with the little what's the little names? With the little horns. The Venezuelans, ain't that what they call it? They had the Venezuelans. And as a kid, every time like on SportsCenter, ESPN, they would show like clips and stuff. I thought all soccer games had the little horns going on with it. Was this the Bofana? This is the Bofana year, I believe. Come on, L Tree. And this is when Shakira made that song, I think so. How 2010 World Cup changed football culture. Let's go down.
Prior to the start of the 2022 World Cup, there were quite a number of controversies leading up to the tournament.
You got the slave rebuilding the stadiums. You had a non-football nation or non-football heritage nation hosting it, and you also had it taking place in the winter in December instead in the summer like normally.
Complaints by
it wasn't as bad as everybody. It wasn't as bad as everybody tried to hype it up to be honest. Come on, it was a good time.
Football associations of many different nations that accused FIFA officials for selling out in order to milk as much money into their own pockets as possible. Even some investigations done on serious abuse and health violations that led to the death of thousands of immigrant workers.
Hey, at the end of the day, when it came to boys talk about money, FIFA trying to get as much money as possible. Money makes the world go round, bro. It's all about making as much green as possible. You can't pay bills. You can't put food on a table with heritage. You can't put food on a table with legacy. It's a term with a lot of boxers with championship belts can't pay for bills. You can't eat championship belts for dinner. It's all about making much money as you can. That's why the MLS pushes Messi so much to the front. They don't give a damn about nothing else but Messi. It's all about maximizing the most revenue as you can while he's still here. FIFA, on the other hand, they trying to maximize as much revenue as they can. They say, why go over here to England for $100 million when I can go to Qatar for $200 billion? Whether they have football heritage or not,
to their own pockets.
That ain't they concern.
And even some investigations done on serious abuse and health violations that led to the death of thousands of immigrant workers from third world countries. And while it is a really sad and unfortunate thing, it's not exactly what we're here to talk about. Because while the ethics weren't all there, it is no doubt that in terms of football quality, moments, and entertainment, the 2022 World Cup delivered more than anyone could have anticipated. There were so many insanely nail-biting, entertaining, and iconic moments that happened throughout the entire.
I already know this is a Kyler Z video right here off top. This straight Kyler Z. I see that from anything. Dang, we ain't reacted to a Kyler Z video in a minute. Has he been posting?
Tournament that we don't realize how spoiled we were. Like, I'm sure the World Cup just brought thousands and maybe even millions of new football fans around the world. But the World Cup was so good that I'm afraid they might actually be disappointed that they won't see football as exciting as the World Cup throughout a majority of the club football season.
That's exactly why I said that when the World Cup happen in 2026, it's not gonna blow up in America like everybody think it is. Yes, they gonna be excited that it happened. It's gonna be exciting during the moment, but after it leaves, club football and other football is not gonna be exciting how the World Cup was, and they just not gonna be interested. And they also be disappointed too because the football quality was so great. Look at the Euros. You know how boring the Euros was this year, aside from Spain in that damn Italy game where they hit that last minute goal and stuff. It was a pretty stagnant tournament.
Don't see football as exciting as the World Cup throughout a majority of the club football season. But while it was, in terms of football, the best World Cup I've ever seen, I'll have to admit it just didn't have the same feeling. The atmosphere and the immersion just didn't hit the same like it did with other World Cups. And maybe it's just me, but while the 2022 World Cup was incredibly entertaining, with myself watching almost every match there was and even following the events outside the pitch from different news outlets, creators, and influencers, it just felt like a high-stakes international football tournament.
Yeah, shout out everybody who went there to the World Cup to provide us some content. You like game vlogs inside the stadium and all of that. They the real MVPs for sure.
More than it truly felt like a World Cup. For example, do you
Hold on, he
remember
said it
a
felt like a
football
what?
tournament? More than it truly and influencers, it just felt like a high-stakes international football tournament.
Okay.
More than it truly felt like a World Cup. For example, do you remember Brazil 2014? Because say what you will about the quality of football, you can't deny it truly did
just
feel
felt
like
like
a World
it.
Cup. And I was fully immersed as if I was actually experiencing the scenes of Rio de Janeiro with my very own eyes.
Yeah.
But in my opinion, when it comes down to the most memorable and enjoyable true World Cup experience, nothing in the past 2 decades.
Them Brazilian girl, you feel me? Boy, you already know I went to Brazil, Colombia, in California over the summer. Boy, unstoppable force versus immovable objects. If you know, you know. I was in that bitch in heaven.
Hits like the 2010 World Cup in South Africa. And if you don't agree with me on just how incredibly iconic that
2010,
tournament
let's
was,
see.
promise you, just give me 10 minutes and I'm convinced that I'll change your mind.
What the hell that octopus
Just
doing
give me
there?
10 minutes and I'm
The ball?
how incredibly
Hold on now, they
iconic
had
that
the
tournament
game?
was. I promise you.
I don't know who the hell that is. Bofana. Is that the logo? Waka waka waka, waka waka, I didn't even know there was I heard that song. They used to play it on the radio, but I didn't even know that was made for the damn World Cup. Dead ass serious. You got the trophy. You got
just give me
the what's the Jubilee? The Jabulani?
10
The
minutes
ball.
and I'm convinced that I'll change your
Logo, the damn horns. Them hoes was annoying. I have no clue what the hell. The octopus must have chose the winner. You see it?
mind.
Didn't they say they got it right like every time or something? Go subscribe to Ray Martin, man.
Football quality in this last World Cup was truly unforgettable. We had so many iconic moments like Japan's incredible underdog performances, insane goalkeeping during penalty shootouts, an African nation making it to the underdog performances,
Japan did
insane
not
goalkeeping during
fucking...
penalty
Alright, let me
shootouts,
stop pausing and stop talking about the Qatar World Cup. This is about the 2010 World Cup, but Japan did not practice
an
pen.
African nation making it to the semifinal for the first time in World Cup history,
Morocco.
just a ton of nail-biting matches and group stage finishes that came down to the final minutes, and of course, Lionel Messi making it back to the World Cup final, getting down to the final
Had him throwing feed. Luka Modric throwing feed at the
minutes.
Brazilians.
And of course, Lionel Messi making it back to the World Cup final and being able to lift the trophy. But while the football was good, it just really feels like the vibes weren't all there. All the joy that comes along with the events, like the feelings, the emotions, the sentiment, not just the football quality itself,
Captain
in my
America.
opinion, is what really makes the World Cup special. It's all part of the complete World Cup experience that builds up from when the announcement is made all the way to the preparation and duration of the tournament. And what better way to hype everything up and get everyone excited
Than a song.
than commercials? World Cup commercials are iconic, and in my opinion, one of the most memorable things about watching the World Cup. We've had some incredibly unforgettable commercials over the years.
Hey,
So-
we ain't reacted to a commercial in a minute. Why do they still make iconic commercials? Like, damn, I remember the World Cup. I only seen the United States World Cup commercials. I didn't really see Actually, I did see a commercial of like all the athletes. I think it was a Adidas one. But like people don't really talk about it. No. Well, you know why people don't talk about it no more? Because people don't watch TV.
iconic that people who haven't even watched certain World Cups can identify some of these masterfully made commercials. I mean, who remembers the iconic one of Ronaldo and the Brazilian national team back in the 1998 World Cup? Seeing these
None
legends
of y'all remember that because y'all boys wasn't born in 1998. A good 60% of y'all. Shout out to my OGs.
play football around a freaking airport just makes me want to go outside and start playing myself. Even as a casual football fan, commercials like these really give you that emotional feeling that makes you just want to go outside and enjoy the game. But the 2022 World Cup commercials just don't hit the same. It's mostly obvious CGI, which at first seems kind of cool.
I ain't even
but
see that
really
commercial.
just lacks substance. I mean, Messi playing with different versions of himself, or Ronaldinho and Ronaldo playing with Mbappe, Van
I ain't
Dijk,
see this one
Cristiano,
either.
and even young
I
Cristiano.
did see that.
Plus, not to mention Alex Morgan. Mwah. Is cool and all and very entertaining.
Whoa, Raymar. Whoa. The hell that was? That boy talking about some mwah. There is no way that man Raymar just did that.
Not to mention Alex Morgan. Mwah.
That boy did it smooth too. That boy saying Alex Morgan. Mwah.
It's cool, Tiano.
Yeah, Ray Mars a gooner.
Even young Cristiano, plus not to mention Alex Morgan, is cool and all and very entertaining. But at the end of the day,
He's
especially with
gooner.
all the power of CGI and editing we have, just doesn't feel as special. However,
That's facts. You can say that a lot. Just look how bad this damn CGI. You can say that about a lot of movies these days too. Movies being CGI. It's just the way the world is moving. It's cheaper to use CGI than going to real sets and getting the real people and doing all of this and stuff like that. So
2010 World Cup did it perfectly. If you guys remember these commercials, let me know in the comments
oh man, see what's up with the swag? What's up with all of them swag?
below.
The hell they had? Well, I know what they had going on in 2010s. American
So
athletes at least tried. Them boys out there looking like regular pedestrians. What miss with a damn white t-shirt, some baggy-ass jeans, or whatever damn wookies he got on.
It's below, because in my opinion, it's one of the best World Cup commercials of all time. I mean, to see all these legends coming together to play a game of football in the African savannah is just insanely
that's
iconic
live.
and
I need
memorable.
to react
And you
to that.
even have the boundaries of the pitch held up together by people holding hands, showing togetherness and unity. That's really
Was this
what
the first World Cup in Africa? First and only World Cup in Africa?
the World Cup
Is that
is
Akon?
all about. Bringing people from all over the world together to celebrate and appreciate each other's differences and cultures and come together to play the beautiful game. Honestly, Pepsi absolutely nailed this commercial. I mean, you had
it's
guys
wild.
like Drogba, Kaká, Messi, Lampard, Thierry Henry, and the commercial doesn't really show any goal scoring like some of the more modern ones do. But it's not necessary when you can see the pure joy and happiness with simply playing football.
That's
I was
facts.
only in middle school, but I remember seeing this and being so excited and full of joy in anticipation to finally be able to watch another World Cup. And although this wasn't the first World Cup I was able to witness, it definitely hit me with the strongest impressions and really showed me the true joy of what it means to watch the World Cup. And for some of you younger or newer football fans, I suggest you give the full commercial series a watch because it's an absolute joy to see.
I need to look that up and react to it for sure. So it's a Raymar say look up the full commercial series. I had to get all the commercials in a row, like all 2010 World Cup commercials, and react to it in one video and do the same for each World Cup.
This brings me to my second point.
Good
the
video, good
music.
idea, right,
Music
Mark?
has been an incredibly important part of the World Cup experience. Like, imagine having Christmas without any Christmas music.
Hold on, what'd he say?
Important part. See, this, I suggest you give the full commercial series a watch because it's an absolute joy to see. This brings me to my second point, the music. Music has been
the
an incredibly
music.
important part of the World Cup experience.
Down, 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 down. Hey, you can't tell me that sound wasn't iconic, but yeah, music-wise, there wasn't really an iconic song.
Experience. Like, imagine having Christmas without any Christmas music. It just wouldn't be the same. But for the 2022 World Cup, the music was, well, for lack of a better word, mid. I mean, be honest. How many of you guys can even name some of the World Cup songs last year? First of all,
World Cup! World Cup! Shout out Speed.
Lil Baby dropped a World Cup anthem song called The World Is Yours to Take. And don't get me wrong, Lil Baby has had some absolute bangers, but that song was trash.
I don't
And
even
I'm
know
sure
how
the
it
guy could
sounds.
also care less about football anyways. I mean, give it a listen if you'd like, but it's just not hitting. And the official World Cup songs by FIFA included Dreamers, Heya Heya, Tukutaka, and Arbo. And while these four songs combined have over 380 million views, the songs, in my personal opinions, just aren't that catchy or
Yeah,
memorable.
see?
I mean, I barely even
See?
heard these songs playing throughout the World Cup, or even used on World Cup videos throughout YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. But those four songs combined with all their views doesn't even beat out one of the best footballing songs of all time, used in the 2010 World Cup, which was no other than Kanan's Waving Flag with 440
I gotta look
views.
that up.
Waving Flag is such a beautiful song and is honestly the most perfect song for a World Cup that I've ever come across.
I'm finna look
Lyrics
it up.
just match
Let me look up Waving Flag real quick. Okay, I for sure can get the vibes just straight off of that. And I will say there's kind of, you can't necessarily blame the 2022 World Cup because music in general has low-key kind of fell off. Like in 2010, music was all had that same feel-good vibe and upbeat, and pop music was like the most popular genre. Well, I'll say in America, but now in 2022, like, they don't make that happy-go-lucky pop music like they used to back in the day. Now, let me look up the 2022 World Cup songs. Hey, ya, hey, ya. Oh, this song. Oh. Yeah, I remember hearing that hoe, but it don't make me think of the World Cup. I heard that more in Inter Miami than damn watching the World Cup. Let me hear this other one. Yeah, for sure. I don't remember none of those songs. They just sound like generic Afrobeat songs.
Perfectly with the theme of global love and unity, especially when it comes to the game of football. I mean, what other song embodies the idea of representing your nation proudly while also having respect and admiration for others as much as this song does? I know the World Cup has been largely used as an event for making profit, especially in the past few decades, but originally, while money was a big factor, it was also largely about bringing the world together, promoting positivity between cultures, nations, peoples, and uniting everyone with love under the beautiful game.
And that's funny on how in America, like looking back, like that's so live, and I'm mad I missed out on it. Cause it's just funny how like in the United States, we just over here in our own bubble and just do not give a damn about what the World Cup got going on, bro. That is nuts. Like the only thing we participate, like all of this, all of this like in the World Cup for y'all is the Olympics for us type shit. It's just funny how everything is just backwards for us.
Football. Honestly, this is one of the most iconic songs associated with football of all time. And I remember back in the day, almost every football montage on YouTube had the song, especially when it came to the World Cup. The lyrics, the message, and the beat are absolutely iconic. It's just the perfect footballing song that really gives the vibe and feeling of what the World Cup is and should be. But as great as Waving Flag was, there was an even bigger song that just fit the World Cup so perfectly. That was Shakira's Waka Waka. I mean, do I really have to explain just how big the song was?
3.4 billion views.
And still is. Like, come on. Whenever I heard this song, I just felt like getting my ball in.
That boy rock with that Juice WRLD, huh? My ass knows. You see, he fully rock Juice WRLD. Oh, man, Overseer. Okay, Raymar.
Like, come on. Whenever I heard this song.
Okay, One Piece. You rock with One Piece too. You see the little Most Dangerous Power in One Piece video he watched?
Is like, come on. Whenever I heard this song, I just felt like getting my ball and just start dribbling. It's that much of a hit with nearly 3.5 billion views. It will really be hard for another World Cup to release such a massively succceymore, uplifting, and just overall enjoyable song that matches the mood of the sport and tournament as perfectly as this song did. But I know, Raymar, you're talking about everything but the tournament itself. Well, that's true, but that brings me to my final reason. My most favorite ball of all time, the infamous Jabulani. The Jabulani was a ball like nobody had ever seen before. Not only was the design easily one of the most clean nobody had ever seen before.
Well, yeah, it is rare. So that makes sense. And it's unopened.
Not only was the design easily one of the most clean of the last few decades, but it was also the most unique ball to ever grace a football pitch. The Jabulani was designed as a ball made of only 8 panels as opposed to the typical 32 panel design. Adidas also made the ball with grip and groove technology, allowing for better contact with the ball. This was supposed to have the most consistent performance under any weather condition. However, when kicked at incredibly high speeds, especially the kinds of speeds and force you'd get from a long distance or absolute rocket.
Look how I just take control of
you'd get from a long distance or absolute rocket of a shot attempt. Jabulani would have incredibly unpredictable movement, which resulted in some incredibly insane goals.
That's crazy how they just decided to stray from the normal ball that everybody used and just use the World Cup, the biggest stage, to try something new out. That's nuts.
Well, the Jabulani was pretty alright for spin, but when it came to knuckleballs, the ball became a goalkeeper's worst nightmare. The 2010 World Cup had some of the most insane goals of any World Cup tournament. Like, do you guys remember just how insanely far some of the goals scored in this tournament were? It's mind-blowing. You have multiple worldlies from Diego Forlan, incredible long-range goals like the one Giovanni Van Bronckhorst scored, and some breathtakingly beautiful knuckleball free kicks like the one scored by Keisuke Honda. The 2022 World Cup did have some beauties and also had some of the highest tensions we've ever seen in a World Cup. But the quality of goals in 2010 was just different. I mean, it's easy to see why the Jabulani is the most infamous World Cup ball.
Look how it's moving.
Anyone that's ever
it's like the wind is blowing it immediately, like go that way.
The chance to play with a Jabulani will know just how fun it was to shoot the ball and just how nicely it felt to handle. You can go on YouTube yourself and check out all the insane capabilities the infamous ball really had. And it's a shame that I can't show all the amazing goals in the 2010 World Cup, because there was just way too many. Man, is the Jabulani one heck of an iconic and unforgettable ball. And a little bonus I'd like to throw in is how the matches sounded insanely unique. This was due to something called the vuvuzelas. And if you don't know what they are, they're basically these popular trumpet-like instruments that's commonly used in South American
What do you say,
football.
Zuzu
What they are, they're basically these This was due to something called the vuvuzela. And if you don't know what they are, they're basically these popular trumpet-like instruments that's commonly used in South American football matches. They created a unique sound to the game that honestly, to me,
look at those white, look at those white dude. Well, it is white people in South America, so let me chill. Not South America, but South Africa, so let me chill.
Did it incredibly cool. When you watched it on TV, it sounded completely different from
so every country got their own vuvuzelas. That's pretty live.
Match. And here's exactly what it sounds like.
Yeah, it was annoying to me. I thought every soccer match sounded like that. I never
forgot about the 2010 World Cup. So yeah, while the 2022 World Cup had some of the most exciting football I've ever...
and they did that for like the whole the whole 45 minutes each. They did that non-stop. That's nuts.
Ever seen. It just didn't really give me the same feeling of a World Cup as previous ones did, especially when compared to how culturally and globally iconic the 2010 World Cup was. But yeah, what World Cup did you guys watch that really gave you that feeling? I'd really love to hear more in the comments below, because I did a poll and I asked a lot of you guys, and the majority of you said the 2022 World Cup was the most emotional one you've experienced. But thank you.
Because they some messy dick riders, that's why. Hell, you mean, of course they gonna say that.
You guys, I really appreciate all of you for making it till the end. So if you're still watching, type 2010 in the comments to confuse everyone else and let me know that you're a real one. But that's all for me today, guys. I'll see you in the next one.
Hey, shout out that man Raymar Football. How the 2010 World Cup changed football culture. We did 2010, we did 14, a video about 2014, we did a video about 2010, 2018, maybe next. I cannot wait till the 2026 World Cup in the United States of America. Hey, I'm out.